How about watch this, jerks?
Sure. What's this? What's number one?
I watched Barbie because Mrs. Cheapy is away, and she did not want to watch. I kept asking her to watch it, and she kept saying no. So I watched it. Did you watch it, Wombat?
I did.
I watched it again the same day you watched it the first time, I think.
I don't know. I didn't love it. I feel like it was hyped up a lot. So by the time I got to it, like probably my expectations were too high. I mean, I thought it was pretty clever. I didn't actually make it to the very end. Like it was getting a little much. You know what I'm saying? Why are you shaking your head?
It's not even that long a movie.
It wasn't that long.
Less than 2 hours.
I mean, maybe I got to the end. I don't know. Barbie was crying about something, and I was like, yeah, the patriarchy came back, and then it was gone. You got
close. Yeah, okay.
I was really like at the end, and I was like, yeah, okay.
You were very close to the end.
I didn't really care that much at the end of the day. Like, I see what they did with Barbie.
You wanted the patriarchy to stay, and then you're like, wait. That's where you turn it off. You're like, yep,
Cheapy likes
we have resolution here. The patriarchy is here.
It was hardly there at all. Like that was like you could blink, and that if you went to the bathroom during that section of the movie, I feel like you would miss that whole patriarchy section. You know, it wasn't that long. Then again, I watched it in 2 sections, so I'm not really sure. Maybe my timing is off, but I feel like Kendom didn't last that long. In running time. I don't think
it was supposed to.
No, I get it. You didn't want to upset everybody. I mean, I appreciate what they did. With it, I didn't really care. Like I don't care about Barbie at all in general. But they couldn't get me to care, basically. That's all.
Okay.
I stared at Barbie's butt when I was supposed to, and I enjoyed that.
Which Barbie?
The blonde Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
What do they call it? I didn't even like it. Was so
stereotypical Barbie.
That was so weird. That whole thing, I thought that was just really weird.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
But then stereotypical Barbie is white Barbie, and like the whole point of the movie is like diversity and all this stuff. But still, the main character of the movie is the white blonde Barbie, and the white blonde
that's Barbie.
I'm not criticizing.
Did you not hear the part where she's who you think about if you think about Barbie?
Yeah, I get it. But what I'm
you
saying,
understand the subtle undertones.
So subtle.
So we're in the Barbie movie.
So yeah, so my shoulders were fucking aching because they were so subtle. My head was.
You should have watched American Fiction instead.
Beaten down with it. American Fiction. You talked about that. Yes, probably. I wanted to. I just wanted to check out the visuals mostly because I heard a lot about the visuals. And
it's a very practical movie, and I think that does help make the movie better.
The effects you mean?
The effects are mostly practical. Those sets are real. It's not green screens, and I think it makes a difference.
It was cool. Like
it's a tactile universe.
What score would you give the choreography?
It's pretty good. That was Simu Liu, right?
Yes.
As Asian Ken.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Like I appreciate like the job that what's the actor's name? Ryan Gosling did as Ken.
Yes.
Like the job with his body. I mean, like looks like he didn't eat. He only ate egg whites for just raw eggs only for 6 months, and worked out 8 hours a day. I don't know. Yeah, it was fine. I don't know. I'll never think about it again, except when I'm masturbating to Ryan Gosling's.
Ryan Gosling, yeah.
Yeah. You watched Crisis on Infinite Earth? I saw that on there, and I was like, am I going to watch the second half of Barbie or fucking Crisis on Infinite Earth? But
I watched Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 1 on HBO Max.
Oh, that's a Part 1?
It's a Part 1. It's still complete. I would say it's worth watching, especially for you, because you're going to be happier watching this an hour and a half at a time than watching
for sure
3 hours. Are you familiar with Crisis on Infinite Earth in any way, shape, or form?
Have they made one of these animated movies before?
They haven't made a Crisis on Infinite Earth animated movie, but it is based on a graphic novel from
I probably would know it then.
The 1980s. They do change things up quite a bit, but it does hit, if you're familiar with the story, it is going to hit all the beats that you're expecting it to hit. If you're a fan of it, there's definitely, a lot. It's lots of cool Easter eggs if you're a DC Comics fan. I actually really enjoyed it. It's Flash centric. Yeah. So
It's Flash centric.
it's Flash centric. It's funny because it's like this is what kind of you saw the Flashpoint animated movie.
I love that
And-
movie. That's great.
Yes, and you watch this and you're like, oh, I see what they wanted the Flash movie to be. They wanted it to be like a combination of those two stories,
Right.
and they just couldn't quite make it work. And here's these animated movies that make it work.
I have a theory why the movie didn't work, by the way.
Oh yeah, why?
Because they made the Flash so annoying. Like you
Yeah, it's
can't
funny.
make him that annoying.
Yeah, this Flash is not annoying. This Flash is
Okay.
endearing.
Okay, great. That's like Flashpoint was the same way.
Mhm.
It's like she was.
It is the same
protagonist.
Flash.
Oh,
It is the
okay.
same- Those movies are all connected.
Cool.
It is the same Flash.
Oh, wow. That was so long ago.
Yep.
Cool. Excellent. All right, we can talk about Fallout now.
Yes, we could talk about Fallout. Or should I talk about the other thing I watched first and then we'll do Fallout?
Sure.
Yeah, I also watched on Max. I watched Conan O'Brien Must Go, the 4-part Conan O'Brien travel series. It's new. It's funny. It's Conan O'Brien making an ass out of himself in foreign countries. So if that's up your alley, which it is for me, you're going to very much like this.
I thought about watching that. I saw that on there that's HBO, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that there. I was like, sure, that's entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
I have full control over this TV.
You should watch it. You should watch Crisis first, though. I think because you're a fan of those, you might like it more.
I feel like no, but Mrs. Cheapy will watch that.
Oh, okay. So
She
maybe
will,
you
if you
wait.
say it's good, she will watch that. Ty would watch it too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Ty would probably not watch Fallout though.
No.
I don't know.
Why
It's
not?
pretty adult. Like even though he's 16, like I don't. It's got like
Why wouldn't you watch it?
I don't know. I don't think he knows much about Fallout.
That's different. But
It's
he
got
might like it.
it's got a fair amount of fucking in it for.
I mean,
for
it doesn't have
Fallout.
it doesn't have that. There is. I don't want to say there's no nudity in it. There is.
I
But,
mean, there's a surprising amount of fucking and violence. I mean, I guess violence part is not that surprising, but
It is not that surprising, especially if you go back, if you remember the games. There is
yes,
a lot of violence
right,
in those video games.
right, and every fucking TV show is violent now anyway. So
Mhm.
why wouldn't this one be? But the sex part and the adult nature of basically the show itself, beyond just the violence, surprised me.
I mean, let's see. I want to. How do I talk about Fallout, especially since Chip hasn't seen it yet, and not spoil anything? I thought the good things are really, really good, but I thought the not good things were kind of lame. And
That's an unusual stance than what you usually have
I
on the good things and the lame things.
I enjoyed the good things. I did not like the bad things.
I enjoyed
But
the lame things.
I was gonna say, but the quality of what makes it good greatly outweighs the stuff that I wasn't enjoying in the show. So the parts that I felt were too slow, or they took
Flashbacks,
too
right? The
long.
flashbacks are the
The
part you
flash-
don't like, but you never like flashbacks. You're
It's not-
anti-flashback in general.
It's not that I hated the flashbacks. There was some of it that I found interesting, from a Fallout lore perspective. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But I felt like they could have done like they could have cut it in half, and I still would have had the same understanding of what they were trying to show without as much of it that they showed.
I think I like the background because then you care about the characters, especially some of the like the what's the guy the ghoul,
The
like
ghoul?
he's been around for a while.
Goggins?
You need to
Mhm.
learn about the backstory. I really liked it. We watched the whole season, me and Mrs. Chibi, and we both really liked it. Mrs. Chibi is a big Fallout fan. She played the original. She played Fallout and Fallout 2 on PC when they came out, and so we both really enjoyed it. We basically binged the shit out of that. We every night we watched an episode, and I think one day we watched 2.
I liked
That's
I
binging for
liked the
us.
cast in it too. I thought they all did a decent job. I think Max and Miss is probably the weakest link of the 3 main characters.
I like his character. I like his character because it's complex. Like you don't know, like, is he an asshole? Is he out for himself? Is he?
Sometimes he talks like he has like a baby voice sometimes, and
I
that
haven't
bothered
noticed.
me.
I haven't noticed
The
that.
baby voice parts, like he talks like a little kid. I think it's because, I think it's intentional. Like his character never really grew up,
Okay.
so he has this big childlike naivety.
Yes.
So sometimes, but it comes out through in his voice, and I just found that annoying. It's
Fair enough.
yeah.
It's a little
you
weird.
may-
His character is a weird character. It's not because he's not super weird. He's sort of on the border of being weird, which is interesting. I found it interesting. Painkiller.
He's in a weird
Situation in the
Yeah,
universe
so-
for sure. Painkiller in the chat says, "I'm a Fallout fan. Thought the show was okay, but Silo is doing it better." Have you watched Silo on Apple?
I started watching Silo and I got bored and stopped.
Well, Silo is really good, and Silo is way more tense and just overall like sort of its own creepy ambiance and its own unique thing going on. I think, yeah, probably Silo is a little better, but they can both are,
I like
can
the
be good.
Fallout. I like the dressing. I like the dressing of Fallout. I like the.
Oh yeah, then they do it great. Like everything looks
Yeah.
great. Like
Everything looks great. And you're seeing all these things and you know what they are and the outfits and and the nods to the game, just in the changes of Lucy's outfit as as the show progresses.
it's cool.
It is cool because you know exactly what's happening without them having to tell you what's happening, and I appreciate that.
And on the same level, if you've never played Fallout before, you can still enjoy the show. Like if you don't,
Yes.
it won't like you wouldn't be like, I don't know what's going on or what is this? What is yeah. They did a good job. They did a good job.
I will
with
say
it.
that the scene with the guy's foot almost made me vomit. But other than that,
Dude, I watch so many. I just look away. I just see it coming, and I look away.
I
So much
I
looking
couldn't
away.
I couldn't look at it. I could not look
You
at it.
shouldn't look at it. I don't know why they like. Do we need to see it? We. There's something about not seeing stuff. That's great too. Can we just
Not
leave
see
stuff
that?
to
Yeah.
leave stuff to the imagination? I mean, we know you can do it. We know we have the technology. Doesn't mean we need to see somebody's foot hanging by like
Ugh.
the card. I don't even know what. I looked away fast, but I knew I didn't want to see it.
Mm-mm.
It was like looked like somebody's foot in a.
Just like maybe this show is a pass.
No, I mean that's the exact reason why, like when I said we had to be in the mood for it, like
But it's the tone is not like it's not the opposite tone of Silo. Even though they're both like these sci-fi universes, Silo is much more like grim. Like this is grim in a it's got the Fallout upbeat Fallout like
It has a dark,
music.
there's
You know?
that
That's
dark
the part
sense
we're
of
looking-
humor. Yeah.
yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah,
part.
it's
I-
cool.
Yeah.
I'm just not big on like gross.
You look away for a second. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You jump in. You're gonna like it.
It's not the majority of the show, which to its credit, so that when it does show you something that's gross, you're like, okay, that's super gross. But it's not every episode. But there are a couple of count on one hand moments where you're like, oh, that's super gross, and that was super gross, and that
One
was
an episode,
incredibly
at least one an
disturbing.
episode, at least.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. But a lot of but that's not unusual anymore. And a lot of series share that. Even
Especially
fucking
on
Shogun.
Amazon.
Even Shogun has some fucking gross. Like, I need to see the guy's fucking head come off, do I? Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right. I think, is that all we're watching? I think that's it.
That's enough. Yeah.
That's
We'll
enough.
talk more about Fallout later.
Sure. Ship, watch some so we can talk about it more.
Mm-hmm.
Do your job, man.
Watch
What?
the Bluey episode. What more do you want from me?
Not that.
Did you cry? Did everyone cry at Bluey?
I
Did
no,
not.
I did not because I got up and like, oh, I gotta go get a glass of water.
You hid? You hid during the crying part?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wimpy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like classic
Oh.
dad move right there.
No, I showed
All
my
right.
son my
I
tears.
think someone's at the door.
Right. We could check on I think the dryer went off. Let me go see if the dryer's all right.
I gotta change the oil in the cars. I'll be back in a jiff.
And I'm just going to be chopping these onions right here while I watch the show. I don't know if anything happens during the show, but I'll just be chopping these onions.
Why
Oh.
are they putting up a for sale sign?
Like that show is just so well written for what it is. Like it's
I've never seen it. That's all. I've still
You would-
never.
I think you would enjoy it quite a bit.
I wouldn't know where to start. I feel like I need to know where to start.
Episode
just
one.
start at the beginning. They're 7 minutes long usually, right?
Wombat, it is a show for children. You can definitely figure out what's going on. You can jump in anytime. You can. I'm sure you can watch the last episode and you'd know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, it's just like this episode like has so many like this is the first half-hour long episode they've done, which I mean it's 4 times as long as the previous episodes, and so it like has a lot of callbacks to like characters that don't show up all the time.
Reddy, Greeny, Yellowy. I love Yellowy and Brownie. Great. I've watched that show when you guys came over and stayed here.
Yeah.
I was forced to watch it.
Yeah, you saw it was the 80s or whatever, right? Saw that episode?
Yeah. It's Australian. They got some clever Australian comedy writers.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen some good stuff come from there.